People were knocking on the door all the way from LA, Pasadena, Riverside. They're like, hey, we want that one taco, one burrito you used to sell at the farmer's market.
This is seriously the best breakfast burrito you've ever tasted.
One of our customers that I've had since I was in my house making chorizo, and they opened their taqueria, was Sonoratown Taqueria in LA. This is a box of their Sonoran style chorizo that I make signature for them.
You gotta get a bite of this.
They say if you specialize in one thing and one thing only, you get pretty good at it. Today we're in San Pedro, California, checking out a guy, rather a man, who's making a case for being the best. We're at the Chori-Man. Yeah, this one's gonna make your mouth water. Stick around.
Chorizo, especially in a Latin community, it's very, a lot of chorizo, a lot of bacon, a lot of, I don't want to say lardy stuff, but it's heavy, right? So chorizo is synonymous with like breakfast, tortas, tacos, whatever you want. So there's always like it brings back memories from when I was a kid. And then we get another set of people that come in here and they're like, well, I don't eat chorizo because it gives me heartburn and I don't like it, right? But since we have a variety of chorizos, we give them the first to try samples. And one of the things is they're super surprised is like, oh my gosh, it looks like actual meat. Yeah, because we don't use any fillers in our stuff. So they're converts. As soon as they try it, they're like, what else do you have? And then we give them the green chorizo, maple, Argentina, and then they become converts because they're not expecting for chorizo to be like this. And I like to tell people this is how chorizo is supposed to be, the way it's supposed to taste or look or feel, because ours doesn't give you, we don't have excess lard, we don't have excess fillers, which we don't use, and it's very clean product.
This fourth-generation chorizo maker with a family tradition rooted in Mexico is bringing artisan chorizo to San Pedro. Or is it San Pedro?
You pronounce San Pedro, not San Pedro. You'll get corrected. My name is Humberto, and the name of the business is the Chori-Man. I started the business in 2013. I was a college student, and so I started making chorizo out of the house. So my apartment, I gutted everything and sold whatever I didn't need, and I made it into a full production of chorizo. So I would make chorizo at night, let it hanging in at night, go to work, and in the morning come back, take it off the hang, weigh it, bag it, and start walking the streets. So it was a full chorizo operation.
So can you live in your apartment, or?
I did, so I think it was only 5% livable because it was only the room and the restroom where I actually lived, and then everything else was production. I started it out of necessity. I was a college student. Like most college students, we don't make much money, so I was eating beans and lentils every day, and I just got tired of it, and I just wanted to make some money. So I quit school and I started making chorizo. The way I started, when I was making chorizo, I was, making links, and then I would walk the street. So I would have 2 coolers and a baby stroller, and I would put my coolers in there and I would walk the streets of Culver City for about 1.5 to 2 years. And then I would cold call restaurants and just walk in the back door and try to get them to buy my chorizos. And not just restaurants, I would knock on people's doors, restaurants, banks, whatever I can go. I would go in. One story that I have is that I went into a bank one day and I told myself, if I could sell a pound of chorizo in here, then I can definitely sell chorizo anywhere. And I did. I walked in and the sales, one of the ladies that I worked for the bank was like, what do you got? I'm like, I got chorizo. She's like, I'll take a pound. That was it. I knew I was solid after that, One of the evolutions about our chorizo line was that when I first started, there was no vacuum sealing. There was just rough, put it in a bag, see if I could sell it. So I would put it in these, right? And it was all links. So it would get frozen, and it would look like a snake got frozen in there. Really, it would look really bad. So we went from this to actual vacuum sealing now, and having a full line of chorizos that are vacuum sealed, frozen, and you can use them, thaw them out, use them that day, or just leave them in the fridge and it never goes bad. It preserves the chorizo. We try to have this fridge or freezer stocked. So if anybody wants to just come in and buy chorizo, you can just buy chorizo. You don't even have to get a burrito or taco or anything that we also have. And there's a lot of people that just breakfast. Here, let me get a pound of this, pound of that. So it's self-serve. This one's a maple habanero. This one's a green chorizo, Tolucan green chorizo, and our famous Zacatecano red chorizo. These 2 are our top sellers to this day. The origins of chorizo, you can date it back to the Greeks, and then the Spanish, and then the Italians. In our family, we're Mexican, so our origins are from my great-grandfather because he was Spanish, and that in our hometown, my parents' hometown, they were one of the first butchers. So that's one of the things that, other than just cutting meat and selling meat, it was making sausages or chorizos and family recipe.
Yeah, you mentioned it's pork, so can you point to where part of the pork? I came prepared.
Yeah, so
I came prepared.
we only use the blade, the leg, or the leg and ham. Those are the best cuts for chorizo because they got the right amount of proportion. So what you want in a good chorizo or any good sausage, but chorizo, since we're chorizo makers, you want a 70% meat and 30% fat, and those are the best. And you can use the bacon if it's too lean, you use the bacon because you got more fat in there. So yeah, that's it.
Did you point it here when you said fat or here?
Yes, yeah, both. These are the Chori-Man staff. This is Chef Ivan. He's not only our chef, in-house chef, he's also my brother-in-law. And this is his wife, Alexandra. She's also, they moved out from North Carolina to join the team to help us grow. We've been getting a lot more busier. So a lot of our chorizos, we use 4 chorizos on our menu, which is the red chorizo, green chorizo. This is our chipotle braised beef. That's the only beef option we have. Our chorizo beans, they're seasoned with chorizo spice, so they're cooked and seasoned in that. This is our Argentinian chorizo, and then this is our maple chorizo right here. This is our maple habanero, very spicy, sweet and spicy, sells a lot. People like hot stuff, that's the way to go. When I first moved into this space in 2017, originally we weren't supposed to be making food. I had been doing food on the street. I pulled out of the farmers markets and the breweries that we were doing, but the wholesale side of the business was so busy that I stopped doing that. So when I moved in here in June of 2017, people were knocking on the door all the way from LA, Pasadena, Riverside. They're like, hey, we want that one taco, one burrito you used to sell at the farmers market. And I was like, well, we don't sell it no more. We're only selling chorizo. So by the end of June, since we got so many requests about people wanting to eat, we opened the restaurant with that one breakfast burrito and that one taco that we sold on the street. And lo and behold, 3 years later, we're still selling that one taco and that one burrito, and they're still the top sellers. Right now, I'll show you guys how our famous breakfast burrito, the chorizo con papas burrito.
See you later.
This burrito right here is the top seller. This is the one that we sell the most of. The Chori-Man breakfast burrito comes with russet potatoes, your choice of chorizo, but our favorite and our top seller is our red chicken chorizo. I don't think there's too many people making chicken chorizo. This is chicken chorizo. And then we add a handful of cheese and some eggs. Our eggs are runny, so that way it's like a runny breakfast burrito, chorizo breakfast burrito. So one of the advantages of having a co-packer and other companies helping us grow is that we can reach more customers. One of our top sellers, one of our customers that I've had since I was in my house making chorizo and they opened their taqueria was Sonoratown Taqueria in LA. This is a box of their Sonoran style chorizo that I make signature for them. And when I first started, it was really raw. I would show up with vacuum sealed bags of just linked chorizo, drop them off, and then head out to the next one. So I'm super happy to say that with these small taquerias, which, you know, small, but they move 240 pounds a week. That's a lot of chorizo for one restaurant to move. So because of them and other partners like this with other restaurants, we were able to be in San Pedro with our brick and mortar and hopefully advance to another one and reach bigger partners to grow. So our business has grown a lot. Like, you know, when we first started, the goal from when I was in my apartment making 50-pound or 25-pound batches was always to reach a distribution level, whether I was making the chorizo or having co-packers help me. So in the last year, we've managed to get 2 of the largest distribution companies in our nation. So they're nationwide, and now with them helping us, we're gonna be moving a lot more chorizo. Because the Chori-Man originally started as just a chorizo seller, and it's become a wholesaler of its own products, because we have more products than just chorizo now.
This is seriously the best breakfast burrito you've ever tasted. You gotta get a bite of this.
Okay, now the best part of the burrito, if I had to say, it's a combination of things. It's like he said, the meat has its own distinct texture. It's not like anything that you would buy at the store. I mean, it tastes better. Also, these morsels of deliciousness, potatoes?
Potatoes.
Good. And the eggs, oh my gosh. The eggs like are a little runny, so it makes, it just like infiltrates the entire burrito. It's so good. Want a bite?
The Chori-Man is not only a success story, but it's also freaking delicious. I mean, come on. When you talk about combining signature spices, fatty goodness, quality meats, and one man's hustle, you can't go wrong. If you're not from around the area, it's worth a trip. Whether you're stopping in to buy a maple habanero chorizo burrito or a pound of the green pork, you won't leave disappointed. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this Advencha. Make sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, bye-bye!